To end off the month of February, we're taking a look at Korra. Playing this year's back made me a fan, so kinda excited to come back to this one. So, let's check it out. But first, this is combat overview. In this series, I go over the general controls, to the game's main mechanical mechanics, who or what we use those tools on, and then seeing how it all comes together. A bit more in depth, but that's what we do. Well, since we play as Korra, being the avatar comes with some benefits. We have access to 4 elements to swap on the fly mid-fight. We start off with water. These act more like projectiles to hit those far off targets. Next up is earth. It's very slow but has huge impact. And this is really useful to stun enemies, which sets up finishers. Then we get fire, and it just as you would imagine. This is best for up close fighting since it lets you toss out fast strikes, dealing quick damage to a single target. And lastly, air. This has extremely good crowd control potential, sending out little tornadoes to cover the surrounding area. Now you have your light attack on square doing its own combo, and triangle is our heavy doing its one attack. Now you can chain these two, but they don't make different enders at first. You need to buy these moves first that you can just use whenever you want to actually. Like these launchers for example have an input shortcut to send enemies up. But honestly doesn't set much up. So we're given forced enders after buying the 1 or 2 unique attacks in the shop, but since we have other faster ways to toss them out, it just becomes kind of so-so. And honestly, we really don't have a lot of moves in general. But what the game does do is that you charge up any of your attacks mid-combo. Lights, heavy, whichever, it doesn't matter. You see these rings close in to let you know what power level you're going to get once charged. And if you let go soon as it closes in, you do a perfect charge attack. So it also acts as this timer as well. But doing this makes all your elements more powerful, adding more stuff to toss out. You'll now toss out tornadoes, or more water shots will be thrown with a single attack, or larger boulders now to toss at people. So there's tiers to build up mid-fight, but you gotta find the opening to risk hunkering down to charge up. That's where you basically get different moves because they have power level variations to our attacks. And that's what really matters here, is choosing which element to use depending on their specialty or whichever situation you're in, not the enders. For our defenses, we can block with L2, and of course, if you time it, it'll do a counter. This leads into a QTE follow-up, sends them flying, and hits nearby enemies too. We have a dodge that has some end lag on the 4th flip if you mash it, something we've seen since Bayo. But we do have this double tap dodge that'll actually have a unique movement attack. But here it doesn't really do much. We can ride on the airball though. That's pretty cool. But yeah, our dodge has solid iframes and it lets you move on a dime since it cancels attacks. Same for our guard too. But no witch time or perfect dodges here. Well, not at the start, because once you beat the highest difficulty tourney run in the pro bending side mode, you unlock counter dodge talisman as your reward. Kinda cool, we have like the synergy going on between the two modes. But yeah, this allows you to teleport to whoever's attack you just dodged perfectly, but it's nowhere near as useful as our counter, sadly. Now onto our HUD. This white meter is health. These pips underneath isn't special meter, but it shows you what power tier you're charged up to. And you'll notice it gradually empties. And cool thing is, we can do this taunt by holding circle. Not only is it hype to have it, but this will actually help maintain the chi level you charged up, so you don't have to set that all up again. Pretty neat. To the left, we can see which element we got equipped and can swap easily on the fly. Now they level up the more you use a specific one, which increases your max health, adds longer combos, and adds further tiers to charge. It isn't too long of a process either to level them up. Fire, for example, I just got it and I'm already at level 3 within minutes in that same stage. And lastly, we got the avatar state. Of course, combining all the elements and just letting you let loose on them. But you don't get this till you beat the game pretty much, so something to mess with in NG+. Also, the bottom left corner shows what items you have on hand, finite heals if needed, or permanent items you just leave there that give passive buffs like having your math health to do double damage, or vice versa, or having your charge speed quicken, overall faster movement speed, or health regen. When it comes to enemies, we'll fight along the way. We got the grunts in the green uniforms, the blue uniforms who will hang back and toss out these bindings. Get hit by them and it'll keep you in place for a moment. can dodge or just jump to avoid them. But if you counter that, you'll return to sender, setting up an easy finisher on them. Red uniforms will be more up close to you. They'll either dodge to the side, then do this quick attack follow-up, or they'll mix you up by charging up an electric attack to catch your preemptive dodges. And something about electricity, those attacks can't be blocked or countered either. We even see these motorcycles that'll rush you down. You can counter them, pretty sure making them regret that. And honestly, seeing this enemy in this city level kind of reminded me of Ninja Gaiden. But yeah, anyways, small enemy roster here, but they're different enough. We fight benders who specialize with a single element, and these big robot armored suits that have a lot of attacks to counter and look out for. Because of that, it's easily my favorite enemy. And that's The Legend of Korra. It's a short, sweet, simple action beat 'em up, has solid art direction and fun enough combat loop that's pretty simple. Parry the game at the end of the day, just like Rising Revengeance. But I'll never get tired of enemies having their distinct patterns to them that you best learn through your playthrough. But here, add on-the-fly switching between our bending powers that have their own uses on top of that. Makes it pretty fun. Plus, you can buy passive items to affect your playstyle to add some variety. There's medal rankings for those encounters, which go towards an overall grade when you're done with the chapter. And there's even some hidden fights too, so good to replay some of these stages with your full set of elements next time. So yeah, easily one of the better budget action titles I've finished so far. And never understood the immediate, not hate, but the quick dismissive treatment this one gets alongside the other tie-in games Platinum put out around this time. Like, you get to play during the credits. When you beat the game, you unlock extreme difficulty, which remixes enemy placements, having late game baddies show up early on. Side mode is unlocked of the in-world bending tournament to play, which has its own multiple difficulties to beat, extra costumes to change up your look, and lastly, the new animated cutscenes just for this game. So with all these extras to dig into, sets up at least another run to appreciate these things. And come on, they even have the voice actors give a nice little thank you message for beating the game.
Hey, thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing. Hey guys, seriously, thanks for playing. I know it was just one person, but I really like you and all of you.
How was this? Ever considered bad? By some fans of Korra or action games? It's decent, at least. I'm a fan of both action games and Korra, and I never felt it was some trash heap of a game as some scores will make you believe, because this game has some character to it, you know? You can tell it's a nice little passion project for the franchise, which made me a fan, then led me to completely watch Korra from start to finish. So coming back to replay it this time around was a nice return. But to those who gave it a bad rap, while it looks like y'all won and got what you wanted, because this, alongside the other Activision Platinum games, are gone from all storefronts. At least Transformers and TMNT got physical releases on 7th and 8th gen consoles, but sadly not Korra. So yeah, now for those who never knew for sure what Korra's action game was cooking and wanted to really see what was there, well, I can tell and show you it was a good, fun time. Straightforward, but enjoyable. And you can't complain about that. So my plans for March was to continue with this animation action tie-in game theme with TMNT, Transformers, Afro Samurai, and then Berserk. But Wo Long is coming out. I already know I'm beyond that hours on end. I'm going to cover it, don't worry, but I'm going to take my time and enjoy it. No need to rush. So in the meantime, I'm going to cover some bite-sized games. They'll be short enough to see what they got, while still leaving me a lot of time to focus on Wo Long. And yeah, till then.